All right, guys, so I recorded this once and it did not record. It only recorded 18 seconds, and I wrote this all out for you, but I am going to go ahead and explain what I wrote so that you all can use RAP method on your homework and you can remember it if you have forgotten what we learned in class. So I'm going to go ahead and start. RAP method. Remember, RAP stands for something. So the R in RAP method stands for restate the question. Whenever you are asked a question, whether it is on paper or whether it is a verbal question, you need to first restate the question. Remember, you can do that by rephrasing the question, by saying the question again, and by making it matter of fact. So take off the who, what, when, where, why, how. Take off those question parts, question words or question phrases that are in the question to make it a statement. So restate the question is R. The A for RAP method is to answer the question. This is the one that you always want to jump to. Make sure that you restate the question and then you answer the question. We want to make sure that we're restating before we answer because, like in class, when I gave this example, remember, if I asked you all in class what 2 plus 2 was, and you all were to say 4, okay, you told me the answer. But what if Miss Rivera or what if another person came in the room and just heard 4? They wouldn't know what the question was. So you have to always restate that question so that the audience always knows what you're talking about. So in order to do RAP, we would want to do the answer to 4 plus 4 is, that was restating the question. My answer? Oh, I changed it, didn't I? 4 plus 4. Well, the answer to 4 plus 4 is 8. And then you put your answer. Change my numbers on you. And the last part of RAP is the most important part, probably, is provide evidence. And I put in parentheses, prove it. You have to explain how you know. And I'm going to make sure I'm recording you. You have to explain how you know your answer. Again, in class, we talked about if you were a detective and someone came to you and they said, I know who stole the cookies from the cookie jar. The person who stole the cookies from the cookie jar, they restated the question, was Miss Falcone. And that was it. They didn't provide any evidence. You as the detective should not believe them because they don't have any way to prove that they know it was me that stole the cookies. So you always need to provide your evidence. So to make that better, to make the audience believe what you were saying, you should say, the person that stole the cookies from the cookie jar, restate the question, is Miss Falcone. Providing evidence. I know this because that's something that we like to use. I know this because I have a picture of Miss Falcone with her hand in the cookie jar and she's got cookie crumbs all over her face and all over her dress and everywhere in the classroom. Then you as the detective would believe that. You should believe that because they provided evidence to support their answer. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the example that I wrote out for the book that we read yesterday in class, Thanks for the Feedback by Julia Cook. So my question was, did RJ learn how to accept feedback? Remember, RJ was the main character. Did he learn how to accept feedback? So I start with restating the question. So in blue I have, RJ learned how to accept feedback. That restated the question, right? It just said my question again. Did RJ learn how to accept feedback? My answer, my restating. RJ learned how to accept feedback. You hear those same words? Those are restating it. Then I keep going on the same sentence. I'm going to answer it. So he learned to accept feedback once his parents explained how important feedback was to him. So now I answered my question. I said that his parents told him that feedback is important to give and receive, that positive and that constructive feedback. But I can't stop there. Remember, I have to convince the reader, I have to convince my audience that my answer is correct. So I'm going to provide evidence. And I start it with, I know this because. You could also start it with, the evidence to prove this is, or the way that I know this, some way to say that you are providing your evidence here. But I said, I know this because RJ said, and I put it in quotations because he actually said it, thank you to his teacher and his friends. Remember at the end of the book, he said thank you to his friend, even though she didn't give feedback in the best way. So altogether, I've answered my question using RAP method. I restated in blue, I answered it in red, and I provided evidence. So my question was, did RJ learn how to accept feedback? And my answer is, RJ learned how to accept feedback once his parents explained how important feedback was to him. I know this because RJ said thank you to his teacher and friends. Good luck with RAP method. Happy writing!